I'm going to go ahead and go back to some of the initial early quotes that I think maybe after all this time, some of you might have even forgotten at this point. The early quotes about what DC Studios itself is and what he felt facilitated the need for it. And there's this one quote in particular. It's gotten a little bit of controversy here and there, and I'm going to clean up the language a little bit because unlike on the Fanboy podcast, I'm trying to keep this one clean. We're going to see how long I can keep that going. A passionate Latin man from New York can't always keep his mouth clean, but I'm going to try. This quote about James Gunn, from James Gunn, is about the history leading us to here with DC characters on film. He said, "The history has been bleep. It's been a real bleeped up journey for DC. I think that there was basically no one minding the mint, and they were giving out IP to any creatives that, smiled at whoever was in charge. There was never any real power given to the people in charge. And so somebody could always go over their head and do whatever they wanted. And we had the DCEU, which then became the Joss Whedon Justice League, but it also became the Snyderverse, which became this. And we have Wonder Woman, and we have Wonder Woman 1984, which doesn't even match what happened in Wonder Woman 1. And then we have the Arrowverse, and even us coming in with the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker. And then all of a sudden, Batmite is a real guy." So, he was pointing out at the time that the ownership, the people in charge of DC for the last several decades, really, have kind of just been all over the place. And as a fan, those of us know that. We've seen all these weird stops and starts. We've seen the changes in direction. We've seen, okay, we're going to do Batman versus Superman, and we're going to hire Wolfgang Pearson. Okay, never mind that. Now we're going to do a Batman Begins, and we're going to do a Superman Returns. And then, okay, Superman Returns is going to be a continuation of old stuff, but Batman Begins is going to be an all-new thing. And then, okay, now we're going to get ready to launch Justice League Mortal in the middle of the Dark Knight trilogy. Now we're going to launch a different Batman and Superman and all this stuff in the George Miller Justice League Mortal. And then, okay, now we're not going to continue Superman Returns. We're going to relaunch Superman entirely, but now we're also going to forget about that Batman we just knew for the last 7 years, and we're going to meet another Batman in the sequel, but this Batman wants to kill Superman. It's been, and then, after giving the okay to Zack Snyder to have Batman and Superman and Doomsday and do all this stuff, now the owners are going to decide we don't like this vision anymore, and now we're going to change everything with haste, and we're not going to delay any projects. We're just going to make everything still arrive on time, but be totally half-baked and overworked on and over-scrutinized, and now whatever this once was, it isn't anymore. And fans eventually noticed all of this crap, and that's why box office has slowly just collapsed like a flan in a cupboard over the last several years of the DCEU's existence. So I loved when James Gunn came in and said that, because it really did seem like anyone who asked nicely could make a DC movie. And it seemed like anyone could get anything kind of worked out or passed. And really the last example of that was Dwayne Johnson and the things I referred to in episode 1 when he tried to pull a crazy power play and take over DC as we know it and center the entire DC universe around everyone wanting to fight Black Adam. James Gunn probably realized somebody's got to take control here, because this is just chaos and these characters are suffering for it.